Welcome to datascience.show, the podcast where data science meets executive leadership. We talk with top AI and analytics thought leaders about turning data into real business impact. If you're a C-level leader or data expert shaping the future, you're in the right place.
Welcome to datascience.show. I'm Mirko, turning data into business impact. Today, a compact decision-first playbook I call the adoption heatmap. Imagine a near-perfect pilot, great accuracy, delighted data scientists, and then, overnight, it stalls. Why? Because 3 business units couldn't agree who owned the decision the model would inform. Sound familiar? If it does, this episode is for you. I'll walk through a 1-page heatmap, a 72-hour discovery protocol, a scoring rubric you can present to the board, and a practical 30-90-day unblock plan. No fluff, strategy before technology. First, a short frame. We often obsess over model accuracy, metrics, benchmarks, leaderboard wins. But accuracy alone doesn't deliver value. Decision ownership, operational capacity, data readiness, and regulatory exposure do. My lens is simple. Decisions drive value. If you can't map who will decide what, when, and how, the best model collects dust. Today's tool helps leaders spotlight friction and prioritize where to invest scarce resources.
So, what is an adoption heatmap? Picture a single page with 6 dimensions. Visibility: can stakeholders see and trust the signal? Data readiness: is the data available, timely, and stable? Decision ownership: who signs off and who acts? Operational capacity: can operations execute the change? Regulatory sensitivity: any compliance or privacy exposure? And value potential: the expected business lift. Each lane gets a short, evidence-backed note and a heat color. Together, they show where friction concentrates and where early wins are possible.
I'll give you an example in words. Visibility low because frontline managers lag dashboards. Data readiness medium. The data exists but is lagged by 2 days. Decision ownership unclear. 3 stakeholders believe they're the approver. Operational capacity low. The field team has no automation to act. Regulatory sensitivity low. Value potential high. That mix tells you hot friction on ownership and ops. Don't scale yet. Fix those lanes first, then rerun the heat map.
Now, the 72-hour rapid discovery protocol. This is practical and auditable. Not a deep audit, but enough signal to prioritize. Day 1. Stakeholder interviews. 5 to 7 15-minute conversations with decision owners, ops leads, and the legal sponsor. Ask, who will make the call and what information do they need? Day 2. Data surface checks. Confirm data latency, lineage, and access for a representative sample. Day 3. Dependency inventory. Systems that must change, third parties, and any regulatory flags. Capture 1-line evidence items for each heatmap lane. You'll need a simple scoring rubric to turn those signals into a board-friendly prioritization. Score each dimension 1 to 5. 1 means minimal friction. 5 means critical blocker. Sum the scores and map to 3 priority tiers. Protect scores 12 or lower, safe to scale. Invest 13 to 18, high value but needs targeted fixes. Incubate 19 plus, pilot only with a defined runway to address blockers. These thresholds are governance conversation starters, not absolutes. Context matters. Use a 2-slide summary, the heat map, and the proposed tier with supporting evidence.
Translating heat into action. Playbooks per tier. For Protect, fast rollout recipes. Automate decision handoffs. Add monitoring, and deploy a short A/B control for risk mitigation. For Invest, targeted investments. Fix data latency. Assign a single decision owner with a documented RACI, and sponsor a 30-day operations readiness sprint. For Incubate, protect runway. Keep the pilot small. Allocate a sandbox budget, and require a concrete de-risking plan before scaling. Include procurement and legal talking points. Define acceptance criteria up front.
request data access SLAs, and insist on a handover checklist before moving to production.
Governance and funding gates should be lightweight but firm. Sponsor. Every initiative needs an executive sponsor who can arbitrate cross-functional disputes. Gate 1. Pilot approval. Requires a completed heat map, top 3 risks identified, and a committed sponsor. Gate 2. Scale approval. Requires demonstrated ROI in the pilot window, stable data flows, and operational runbook. KPIs. Decision latency, adoption rate, and measured lift versus control. Escalation path. If ownership disputes persist, convene a sponsor-led steering meeting within 7 calendar days.
Here's a practical 30-90-day pilot plan you can use to unblock the top heat zone. Week 1. Run the 72-hour discovery. Assign a single decision owner and lock the primary KPI. Weeks 2 through 4. Deliver a minimum viable integration. Dashboards, 1 automated action, and a control group to measure lift. Weeks 5 through 8. Iterate on operational controls and compliance checks. Capture user feedback. Weeks 9 through 12. Present results to sponsors with the updated heat map and a recommended next step. Scale, extend, or sunset. Deliverables: the heat map, a 1-page governance memo, a technical runbook excerpt, and a short stakeholder brief.
Leadership and change management are the quiet multipliers. Incentives matter. Tie a small portion of ops performance reviews to adoption metrics, not just throughput. Communication snippets matter. Lead with the decision outcome and how it helps the front line, not the model math. And modest org adjustments, a single decision owner, a weekly triage touchpoint, and a protected sandbox budget remove the most common blockers. These are small levers with outsized effect.
Before we close, 3 executive actions you can take this week. 1. Run a 72-hour discovery on one high-value pilot and produce the heat map for your next steering meeting. 2. Assign a single decision owner and set a Gate 1 acceptance checklist. 3. Protect a 30-day operations runway to prove automation and reduce manual handoffs. If you want the template I mentioned, the 1-page adoption heat map and the 72-hour checklist, go to datascience.show/adoption heatmap and download it. Use it in your board pack or your next sponsor meeting.
Final thought: technology is necessary, but it's not sufficient. Map the friction, prioritize the right lanes, and fund the fixes that actually unblock decisions. Do that consistently, and you get from models to measurable value. Not tomorrow, but reliably. That's the difference between models and value.
Thanks for listening to datascience.show. If you found value in this episode, subscribe, share it with your network, and join us next time as we explore how data science drives smarter decisions and better business outcomes.